is extremely vital. We have to keep this very simple and short. It's a very important day today. It's World Blood Cancer Day. And the best thing we can all do is, if you haven't got on the donor registry, I think this is the best day and the best opportunity to make a difference. Getting on the donor registry simply means that you're saving a life. I was once that person who never took interest in registering, getting on the donor registry, becoming a donor. I didn't think it was necessary. But trust me, when I wore the shoes, it does hurt. So you don't need to wait to have someone that his or her life is highly dependent on a donor, on a match, to have a life-saving transplant. So you don't have to wait for that. I had to be in that shoes, and it was so hard because I had 2 children that needed to find a match to live. And in the battle of finding a match, I lost one within the battle, and the other one has survived. It was only a miracle. So what I'm saying is that shoe is very hot. You don't have to wait for your sister to be in such a situation where you now get to know the importance of registering or becoming a donor. You don't have to wait for that. It is a very serious issue. It's a very serious situation. Every single person should actually be on a donor registry. And the more you can get on the donor registry, you can actually save a life somewhere. We don't have to leave people dying unnecessarily when they could stand a simple chance of having a life by just one person willingly knowing how serious this problem is and making a simple difference by just performing a simple swap.
And tell us about your daughter, Praise, because she was waiting, wasn't she? And she has been successful?
Yes, Praise is a miracle. We took the risk with Praise going ahead with her transplant with a mismatch unrelated donor. That's not what any parent would desire. But she's a big miracle. She's alive and with us today.
And there's been historically certain groups in society that have maybe been more reticent to come forward. What would you say to people in the country of certain heritage that haven't registered?
I must say it's my biggest campaign. And I'm very grateful for people like Onwurah, the MP of Newcastle, joining in a campaign of this nature, and lots of other dignitaries out there joining in this very campaign to help see that we have more ethnic Asian minority groups joining the donor registry. It's an unbelievable gap. You only have a handful of these people on the donor registry. It's a very big problem because when people within this ethnic group need a life-saving transplant, they struggle to find a match because they haven't got much of their people on the donor registry. And that was my case because I'm Black and I'm Nigerian. And I needed someone more from my ethnic background. I suffered for so many years. I struggled for so many years because we only have a handful. The margin is so much. It's unbelievably so much. And it's time we have to do something to start seeking ways to get more Black, Asian, ethnic minority on the donor registry. It's really urgent.
Really terrible disease or type of blood cancer, very rare blood cancer, which is hereditary and which can be obviously it can be fatal, but it can also be treated by stem cell bone marrow donations. Aidan, her family, they lost one of their daughters to this terrible disease, Valerie, and their second daughter, Praise, had the disease as well. And she's been able to have a bone marrow, stem cells transplant, but it isn't a properly matched transplant because, and this is the real reason why, I'm so grateful to talk to you today. Part of the problem is that not enough people of African heritage, and why Blessing is making, her family are making this call, and I'm supporting them as to encourage more people to add themselves to the stem cell donor register, to make stem cell donation easier for willing donors.